Hi, my name is Lordy Rodriguez, and I'm the artist that created the public art piece called Cities of Hayward, located on the first floor of the library and the bookstore. I'm not originally from Hayward, but I lived there for about 8 years, and most of that time, I lived and worked right on B Street, right next to Ace Hardware store. And when I was thinking about this project, I wanted to incorporate as much of my own memories and experiences of Hayward. So what I did for this project was to collect as much source material of Hayward as I could find. And part of that collecting was walking around various neighborhoods. I believe I chose 16 neighborhoods around Hayward to take pictures of. I walked around each neighborhood taking images of any pattern, any kind of visual language, color schemes that I could find, as well as any kind of text. Text that came from murals, text that came from local businesses, civic buildings. And that was my starting point. A little background on my previous work. I use a lot of maps and cartography in my work, and I never really stick to the kind of accurate information that maps usually have. I would always mix boundaries and misplaced names. Kind of the effect that I usually go for is the kind of effect that happens when you look at antique maps. When you see an antique map, you're not necessarily going to use it to help navigate around town. And so because of that utility is gone, you start to appreciate that antique map aesthetically. Maybe some of the fantastical portions of the map starts to dominate, and you have a different relationship to that map as opposed to something like Google Maps, where you really just need to use it to get where where you need to go. So taking that in mind, along with the source materials that I had collected for my pictures around town, around Hayward, the final idea was to create a portrait of Hayward based off of the culture that's here, the businesses that's here, and all the civic parks and buildings that are here, to create a portrait that's based off of the visual languages that exist here. And I would suggest that if you're from Hayward and you're looking at this mural, take note of some of the patterns that you see, and see if that the next time that you're walking around the city, or even driving around the city, if you recognize any of those patterns. Thank you so much.